is given unto the Lord as a premonition, an understanding of infinite revelation. When Jesus looked at the skies, he knew the future. He knew the signs in the heavens, the things of time. He knew about all of the wars that were coming. In fact, he tells us, we can find it in Luke actually. Luke shows us specifically how it was that he said there will be signs in the heavens, nation will war against nation. And we start to look at not only the idea from, you could actually see it within Virgo, and how it lines up, and you end up seeing that as being part of the signs from the heavens of the end of times. But did you know right now we can look at the 3D map of the galaxy, and that our actual planet has already mapped out all of the asteroids that are within the same field, and make an orbit that goes beyond Pluto and comes back in between Mars and the Earth to show us just how close we are to having something that could ultimately begin what would be the end of times. You see it in the Revelations of John. He shows us, and he actually opens up, and he shows so much of this. It's actually from the end of the ships, where we end up seeing how there is actually the death of the seas. So when we start to see this climate change, the culture that we live in today, even with a new president, Joe Biden, coming into office, one of the main things they're worried about is the effect of the climate on this world. When we start to see our planet starting to go into a state to where we are losing such a huge portion of the population of the fish within our seas, when we start to see that not only are the ships missing in the sea because of technically the coronavirus, but also the planes in the sky, the entirety of the world shut down. It's a sign of the epic end of times. But to have this, and then to also look at the celestial alignments, the times that are shown forth with revelation from prophecy, and to put it all together, it gives us a new idea of this. Now we can look at this and start to see and have a deeper idea of revelation, or take an aerial view on it. But actually, when we look towards John, what he ends up showing us is that there is a deeper understanding into this through the revelation in the scriptures. Daniel also uses it with the revelations from the archangel Michael. Michael actually ends up showing how there was a time, and a time, and a time, and a half a time. Ultimately, what we end up seeing is that the 3.5 years that they speak of is a portion of the revelation from the time from the Temple Mount and the restoration of the temple. When we start to look towards Israel, as well as the world, and the signs in the heavens, it starts to give a clear view, so that when we can start to see stuff happening in Jerusalem, it's one thing to be able to see the UAE, Benjamin Netanyahu, and President Trump making an agreement, bringing in missile weapon defense systems from Israel, but it's quite another once we start to see the Temple Mount itself being restored. That's the ultimate key and the sign in this world. So it's important for us to understand the world news, but more so the scriptures, to have an understanding of the revelation and the prophecy that's given forth from Jesus Christ, from Daniel, and from John, to have an idea that the times that we're in, take an appreciation for that, and to live forth in a manner so that if we know that this is the end of times, it is a new epoch, a new age, then we are to set forth and to be able to give that opportunity to live like there is no tomorrow, to live for God, to have a love for our fellow neighbors and for this world. My prayer for you today is that you look towards the scriptures, look towards the revelation of Jesus Christ, and receive a new understanding of the blessing of heaven and the revelation of the scriptures, and for you to receive the salvation of Jesus Christ. God bless. God bless America, and I'll see you.